FC Sheriff Tiraspol shocked the footballing world on September 28, 2021, when they defeated the 13-time European champions Real Madrid 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, you may have tracked them through the Europa League on a few occasions, but have you heard about the history of the unrecognized state from which they are based and the KGB affiliations? Hey, I'm Adrian and welcome to Rabona TV, where today we're going through the bizarre history of FC Sheriff Tiraspol and Transnistria, the unrecognized breakaway state within Moldova from which they are based. This is a fun one. And you know what makes following football fun and easy? OneFootball and their app. Our sponsors for this video. My god, that was a cringe segue. OneFootball's app allows you to custom tailor all of the news that is pushed through your notifications and to your homepage on the app, making sure you get everything you care about and nothing else. Follow the teams, countries, players, and competitions that matter to you, and enjoy a newsfeed tailored to your liking, highlights, player interviews, and other videos, track transfers, follow matches with their live, in-depth match tickers, and much, much more. Use the link in the description for a free download on iOS or Android, and you'll be up to date on all things football faster than all of your friends. Make sure you roast them for it as well. Thanks for sponsoring us, OneFootball, and let's head to Transnistria. Robert O'Connor wrote a brilliant article for the Calvert Journal detailing how, despite the division between Transnistria and Moldova, they still managed to share a football league together rather peacefully. I've linked to that below, as it's a great read and it delves into the politics and history of the area as well as the modern football. But in this passage, O'Connor gives a quick history of the territory battles in Transnistria, writing, Moldova's claim on the land immediately east of the river Dniester traces back to an agreement between the Soviet and Nazi authorities in 1940, which took the Romanian-speaking Bessarabia region away from Bucharest and annexed it to the USSR. Moscow, in turn, incorporated Transnistria, formerly part of Soviet Ukraine, into its newly acquired territory, creating the legally recognized borders of the modern Moldovan Republic. When Moldova former declared its independence from the USSR in 1991, separatist factions in Transnistria considered this a final nullification of the Nazi-Soviet pact. Fearful that Chisinau would go on to seek reunification with Romania, they announced their own independence. The 1992 war, fought over a period of 4 months between March and June, marked the final, deadly attempt by Chisinau to bring Transnistria back under its control. Chisinau, by the way, is the capital of Moldova, laying just an hour and a half's drive from Tiraspol on the other side of the Dniester River, which divides Moldova and Tiraspol. Since then, Transnistria has remained an independent but unrecognized breakaway state on a sliver of land sandwiched between Moldova and Ukraine. They even have their own currency there, the Transnistrian ruble, and their flag bears the hammer and sickle of the former Soviet Union, while a statue of Lenin stands outside of their parliament buildings. Back in the 2016 Transnistria elections, President Vadim Krasnoselsky stated that trying to better their relationship with Moldova was pointless, as their goal is reunification with Russia. In fact, according to O'Connor, Russia still supplies 70% of Transnistria's state budget. And so, when people say that Sheriff is the first Moldovan side to make it into the Champions League, the fans of Sheriff would undoubtedly take exception to being called a Moldovan club. Given Transnistria is an unrecognized breakaway state, though, to the outside world, they are officially recognized as a Moldovan club. In fact, according to Madeleine Nesutu of Euronews, around 50% of the Transnistrian population have Russian citizenship. Victor Gushchan is a supremely successful and wealthy local oligarch who is behind the Sheriff Holding Company, which was founded alongside Ilya Kazmali, a fellow former Soviet KGB officer who, like Gushchan, has close ties with the Kremlin back in Moscow. Sheriff, the holding company, not the club, has a pretty broad portfolio in Transnistria and has grown to become one of the biggest entities in the unrecognized state. They have their hands in supermarkets, gas stations, hotels, a TV channel, construction, a cell phone network, and more. One of Sheriff's telecommunications companies, Internetstercom, is one of Sheriff's entities that has made its way across the border to Ukraine and was accused by Moldovan investigative journalism outlet to have been utilized to spy on Ukraine officials for Russia. Speaking to Euronews, Moldovan political commentator and expert Mihai Isac said of Gushchan, quote, Viktor Gushan is a former military and KGB man himself, and with a Russian passport, is a hardcore proponent of Ruski Mir, Russian worlds, with Transnistria as one of its centers. Just a quick note on what Ruski Mir or Russian worlds is, in the most simple, probably oversimplistic terms, it is to promote Russian culture and traditions beyond their own borders, and most importantly, the desire to take back lost territories for Russia. Anyways, Isaac goes on, quote, "The football club is involved in different actions designed to promote the relations between Transnistria and Russia. Sheriff's conglomerate controls de facto all the region, sometimes nicknamed the Republic of Sheriff. Their roots run deep, clearly, and their ties to Russia even deeper. In fact, you could say that given the men behind Sheriff, the club even has close ties to the Transnistrian state, which in turn means they have close ties to Russia as well. The club is almost like the national club of Transnistria, but despite all of the conflict between the rebel state, they compete in the Moldovan Football League." Sheriff Tiraspol, the football club now, was founded in 1996, though at the time, they were known as FC Tiraspol. They were purchased in 1997 and renamed FC Sheriff Tiraspol by none other than Viktor Gushan, who to this day remains as the president of the club. With Sheriff, the company, backing Sheriff, the club, they certainly aren't lacking in any funds, far and away the richest club to compete in Moldova's top flight. Sheriff joined the league in the 1998-1999 season, which is curious considering the tensions between Transnistria and Moldova politically, but as the president of the Moldovan top flight has said, the conflicts remain between politicians, not between the football people, be that the fans and the players. Anyway, competing in their first season, Sheriff didn't win the league, but they won the cup. They slowly began funding more and more transfers to Sheriff Tiraspol, building a recruitment model that saw them pull talented players from South America and Africa, giving them the upper hand in a big way, especially since the Moldovan Football Federation recently, about 2 years ago, got rid of some of their rules surrounding homegrown talent. In came the signings from abroad. Looking at their current squad, of the 29 listed, there are just 5 Moldovans. To illustrate further just how far ahead they are of their competitors, just look at their stadium. A $200 million stadium that's fit to host FIFA and UEFA matches, while the rest of the clubs in the league are renting municipal playing fields and stadiums for their home games, as noted by the BBC. With that in mind, it's no wonder as to how Sheriff have managed to win 20 out of 22 league seasons they have competed in. They've also won the Moldovan Cup 10 times. And people say the Bundesliga has gone stale. They have competed in the Europa League group stage on 4 occasions, but as you already know, during the 2021-22 season, they finally broke into the Champions League group stage, beating the league champions of Croatia, Albania, Armenia, and Serbia along the way. It's a massive achievement in some ways, but in others, it's to be expected. With the Sheriff Company, the people who are behind the club, and the people they rub shoulders with, Sheriff Tiraspol blurs the lines between a regular football club and a state-funded football club. However, take nothing away from the collection of players on the pitch who managed to beat Shakhtar and Real Madrid. That victory was down to them, and they deserve to feel proud about that achievement. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you learned something new, then why don't you do me a favor and feed that algorithm by dropping a like or subscribing if you're new around here. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. My name's Adrian, and we'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.